There's another new mechanism added to 2d6 Swashbuckler, which you can apply into other 2d6 games, which is the idea of a campaign that has some simple missions. So missions added to this include carousing, confrontation, and dueling, which are perfect for your 2d6 swashbuckling environment. So if you're not sure what you're going to do, you can look at the Make Your Own Adventures table here, right, and say, hey, I want to come up with an adventure. I'm not sure what to do. I'm going to roll 2d6, and we read it out, and I rolled an 11, which is the Tavern Brawl. So an insult leads to a deadly feud. So first we're going to carouse to stir up trouble, confrontation when tempers flare into a full-scale tavern brawl, and duel your fiercest rival in a street duel. So in this case, carousing, as you've played to our wargame systems before, is basically a character interaction challenge. Going to go into the tavern and start trash talking, trying to recruit people, engage in gambling, or hook up with somebody, and it's going to be an opposed challenger, basically talking personality to personality. So say these are rep 4, and say our Bravo comes across here to engage somebody in some witticism or just to stir up trouble. Maybe this is a rival factions bar. You're trying to get into a fight to increase your prestige or your fame points. So he's going to go up there and do an opposed challenge. Basically, we're going to do rep rolls. Each side's going to do rep. Just make it easy. We're both rep 4. And this side here passes 2. And our trash talker also passes 2. Right? But let's see. Pass same, exchange pleasantries. But let's just say that these folks are adversaries. Right? So it's going to reduce your dice roll. Right? And this is going to make it a fail. And they're going to be belligerent. So that's perfect. That's what we wanted. We wanted to have belligerency. But you could use the same mechanism to say, hey, I'm going to ask him questions. I passed more. I get a positive response. I get some information to help me get to the next part of my goal. In this case, let's say, hey, the trash talk worked and it sparks a confrontation. So we're going to go right to the action table. Right? This can be the next part. It's going to be our confrontation. And again, this is going to help you build fame points in this system. So we would go to the action table to say, okay, let's see what's going to go on here. Each side is going to roll 2d6 against their rep. Again, making it easy, rep 4. These folks pass 0. They're caught flat-footed. By the pass more, right? So they get to go first. So the trash talkers have stunned them. They're going to get to go first. Now remember, with the movement table system, like wants to go to like. So melee wants to close with melee on both sides, and missile weapons want to stand off. And we just put some fun tables out this to represent, how this could look if you're using actual terrain. It'll be very similar. So he's going to close with this fella over here. Now I'm going to give the guy behind the table an advantage. He wants to close with the musketeer. Now the musketeer does not want to be closed on, right? This calls for the movement test, and we'll make a dice roll here for both sides, and we'll say, okay, the musketeer passed 2, and our fellow passed same. So units stay at range. So he tries to close. He can't get there. He's foiled by some things he tripped on the tavern floor, and our pistol wielder also wants to close. He's going to close over to here because the melee weapon wants you to close with him. So he'll close up here and shoot him as he goes into melee. So that's our action. Sides of moving, we've taken that opposed movement test and we see the results there. Now we're going to go to shooting, right? So the active side gets to go first. So in this case, the other side failed, so it doesn't get to positively act. So the musketeer is not going to do anything except fumble with his weapon and get it ready, while our pistolier is going to go ahead and take a crack at the guy behind the table. Let's give him cover. It's a tavern bar, but that dice roll was definitely a hit. So even with cover, it's reduced by his first shot, right? First fire, and that is passes more than his rep, so that puts him out of the fight. So that's the end of shooting. Now we go to melee, and looks like we've got, again, a figure with a dagger over here against a guy with a rapier. It's not good. The guy with the rapier is going to get that advantage, but he's behind a table, so that'll nullify it. It's going to end up being the straight dice roll that it is, right? So we're going to say our fella here passes 2, right? And this other fella here only passes 1. So surprisingly, the knife wielder turns the table and knocks out our rapier-wielding fellow who started the trash talk. I guess it serves him right. Over here we have, maybe we'll nullify it. They're both fighting across the table over here. So maybe we'll just say, okay, it is what it is. They're both just going to roll straight up, saying the table modifiers nullify each other. And here we have a pass 2 and a pass 2. That's pass same. In that case, they each take a -1 rep, right? And down they go 1 rep to rep 3. Keep fighting. Pass 1. Pass 2, but he gets 1 chance to re-roll a d6 using his rapier, and he rolled a 1. So that's pass 2 again. They're about now down to rep 2. They're exhausted. Pass 2, pass 2. Same again. Now these guys have to break it off. They'd be exhausted. He failed both and failed both. So basically, recover, lost rep after melee is finished. So they're basically, as they're down to 0 rep, I guess we could try again. And he scores a 1. He scores a 1 and touches him and puts him out of the fight. So that ends that round of combat. So that's the end of this round. Stay or go, it's pretty mixed. You know, both sides have taken some hits here, right? So we can do the stay or go table here. We've lost friends. He is shaken. Over here, he's shaken. Even though he won the fight, it shook him up. The Musketeer's okay, and our fellow here is also shaken. The other side is down a couple guys, shaken, and fine. So if you're the star, you can keep going, but now it's 3-2. Maybe dodgy. Let's say you're crazy and you keep fighting. So he would like to reload his pistol, but maybe he can't. He can make maybe it's a wheel lock. He'll make a reroll test. He fails, and he's trying to reload his pistol as the guy with the knife's going to close on him, right? So we'll make an opposed roll after we do the action table. So he's got an unloaded pistol. So going back to the action table, our trash talkers basically score same. If tied, the fire is simultaneous, both count as first fire. So, but this guy with the pistol's unloaded. The Musketeer can shoot, and he does so. He takes a crack at him and nails our guy, and I'm afraid down he goes. Our trash talking team it's not working out the way they planned. This is not going according to game plan here, and his pistol's unloaded. So both sides remain in place and do not move. This means he gets the stay or go test, and he fails it, and he's going to book it out the door. This was an inglorious encounter. His trash talk turned to failure. So that would be the end of the mission, end of the encounter. Now, if you wanted to, you can go on to the next part of that, which is a duel with your main adversary, but you get an idea of how, the next time you say, hey, I want to do the next mission, I want to do the next type of adventure, and I roll again. Oh, look at that. I'm supposed to impress somebody at a courtly ball and try and court a mistress, and to do so, I have to carouse to gain favor, and then confront somebody, and then duel my main romantic rival and gain fame and glory points. So that's how the system can work, kind of tying these adventures loosely together, or just apply these to any other game you have. Thanks.